morning, good morning, good morning. Shout out to all my sucker duckers, motherfuckers out there. What up, though? What up? You big and bad. How you big and bad and you fucking crying like a baby? Fuck out of here. You big as hell crying. Fuck. Yo, take the video down, yo. Word is born, I can't think about fight week with you talking about me. I can't think if I can't think of motherfucking Tyson Fury if you talking about me and I gotta think about you because you think about me, so I'm thinking about you. I can't think about Fury. Fuck out of here with that homo shit, man.
Who is that?
Fuck out of here. Deontay fucking Wilder. Homo shit. Fuck out of here.
Emotional.
Fuck out of here, man. Yo, stay hungry, stay humble. If you lose, motherfucker, you lost.
You know what they're saying? Stay hungry, stay humble.
Those are the words of Nestor Gibbs. As you guys know, that Nestor Gibbs conducted an interview on the behalf of FIGHTHYPE.com, and it was forced to be taken down, okay? And it was forced to be taken down due to the fact of the content itself. Now, I counterpunched the idea of it taken down. At first, I thought it was Nestor Gibbs taken down, but I mean, it doesn't make sense for him that's making money off the video to take it down. So I was thinking, okay, what's going on with this, until I was told to hear this portion, okay, of this interview. And it was basically, that's Nestor Gibbs blasting Deontay Wilder or thereof for getting the video taken down, okay? And it had to be, like I said, higher up in order for Nestor Gibbs on a pretty big platform to take it down. Now, I think it was his decision to take it down due to the people that wanted him to take it down. And it's an interview that Chris Colbert, which is a fighter himself, which is 15-0. He's getting ready for a fight coming up soon. Made some comments about Deontay Wilder, about Glovegate, about the accusations. And he spoke his mind. I mean, he's opinionated. I mean, he's a young, undefeated, opinionated, confident fighter. Also on the PBC. Let that sink in, okay? And when he said those things, I wondered, why did they take it down? Because what he was saying wasn't really all that disrespectful. It was things that I wouldn't say necessarily on my platform, you know, dropping the N-word and this, that, and the other, you know, but he didn't necessarily go out of character and call Deontay Wilder like bitches and hoes and, you know what I mean? Nothing like Nestor Gibbs just blasted them on, you know what I mean? Crying like a baby. You know, homo and all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like Nestor Gibbs just blasted Deontay Wilder for, you know, and that was the weird thing about it. And it just shows you the frustration of someone that was making money, because that sold. Anytime you talk about Deontay Wilder, especially on a platform where you have the same stable fighters, a fighter himself, okay? Because a lot of people listen to fighters. When fighters talk, people listen. Why? Because they shared the squared circle. They know what it's like. They've been in the trenches, and they know the ins and outs of certain semantics of boxing, okay? Gloves, wraps, officials, things that happen, things that should happen, things that normally doesn't happen. They know it all the way through, in and out. And Chris Colbert was just telling the way it is, like with the gloves and how you open it open. You know, again, I've seen that interview. I've seen it a couple times. Okay, it's been reposted. It's been reposted because people, you know, have already saved it. You know, look, the internet is undefeated. You can't just take something away from the internet without it being already copied and, you know, and duplicated, right? So you can't do that necessarily. But the source, the main interview itself, was taken down as in its entirety due to the fact of what was going on. You know, and then the question is, like, why was that the case? Why was this video that was on fire, people? It was on fire. Get taken down. Okay, that's the question you ask yourself. And it's due to It's due to the fact that certain people want to censor you. You know, and obviously Nestor Gibbs, he has a pretty big platform already with the boxing voice, but he was he was interviewing on the behalf of Fight Hype. So it's either, I know he doesn't get 100% of the revenue because I know how this shit works. He gets some, and the sum was, you know, a pretty decent amount depending on the interview that he conducted from Fight Hype, and that was a hot interview. You know, and Chris Colbert is a guy that on that same platform, it was very interesting because this wasn't like it was a DAZN fighter or an ESPN fighter or a Matchroom fighter. This was a PBC fighter that was saying this stuff about Deontay Wilder and what he thought about Wilder's accusations and things like that, and things that don't make sense. It never will make sense. Okay, so he was speaking his mind, and yet this is another PBC guy, TMT, Floyd Mayweather guy, Showtime guy on that end. Okay, you know, I mean, he had to say what he had to say about Jermell Charlo, saying that Jermell Charlo needs to be smacked. So obviously that tells you, though, that he cares about what people say about him. Okay, you know, so he's that type of person. Paula Malignaggi, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? He tried to get him fired. So is it out of the ordinary that he's seen that it didn't like that and went and ran to someone? You know, like I've told you guys, I've had my personal experience about saying things about people that say things about Wilder. You know what I mean? Because I was saying things about Wilder and they didn't like what I said about Deontay Wilder. And therefore they started the whole, hey, let me do this to get this guy off the air because this guy, we don't like what this guy has to say. You know, and it wasn't even Nestor Gibbs. It was just his video that they wanted him to take it down, which was strange because the video was fire. But that was the problem. If it was only a few hundred views, nobody would give a shit. Okay. Now, if you take that 300 and you turn it into 30 to 60 to 70 to 100,000, that's when people start listening, definitely, especially in a short range of time, which the video, I don't know the exact number it got to before it was taken down, but it was hot, you know. And obviously, he had access to Fight Hype's to be a moderator, or not even a moderator, a manager on that particular channel to upload it. So he had the power to also take it down. Okay, and what he did, he just made it private. I know what he's doing. He didn't really delete it. He made it private. You can make look. You can make a video unlisted, private, public, or preview. Okay, and a preview is only a preview of a certain duration of that video that you want to post. But either of those three, he didn't delete it. Okay. If he would have deleted it, would have been, hey, this has been removed by the owner. Okay, that's what it would have said. It didn't say that. It said this video is private. So if Nestor Gibbs wanted to, he could take that video and, in fact, repost it back up. You know what I mean? So he may do that one day or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I don't think that really gets old. I think if he really reposted it, it would still do pretty good, but not like it was, especially on Fight Hype, because Fight Hype, I think, has over 1 million subs. So, you know, needless to say, but it is surprising, though. This is surprising to see Nestor Gibbs call out Deontay Wilder the way he did, in the savage way that he did, because, you know, people are starting to realize that Wilder and the people surrounded by Wilder are just full of yes men. They're guys that want to tell him what he wants to hear. And if he hears anything contrary, you're a hater. And don't be black. That means you're a coon, you're a Sambo, and you're everything else, because he's gripping to these channels that only support him in that radical way because they have other radical agendas, if that makes sense. Nestor Gibbs being from the East Coast, rude, brash, opinionated, and he was rude, brash, and opinionated when it came to Deontay Wilder. But now it's like, yo, you showed me a reason why I should do and have those same attributes and my brashful personality pinned upon you. Okay, and this is the result of that. You don't make a person, especially a guy like Nestor Gibbs, take something down like that. You know what I mean? You do exactly what you did with Jermell Charlo, and you counter. Either counter out of what you say you're going to do or counter out of words of your own mouth or whatever. You do that. You don't have someone to remove material or content. That's what you call censorship, and that shit isn't what America stands for. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Nestor Gabe destroying Deontay Wilder for the removal of the Chris Colbert interview. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.